What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I have some Ret Rogue 2v2 action, and I'm actually going to kind of switch it up and make this into a mini series. Yesterday morning I played a bunch of Ret Rogue, and I'm going to try and make it more of a guide kind of thing, not for Ret Rogue necessarily, but in each video I'm going to try and focus on one aspect of the game to help you guys focus on different things in your own gameplay, and in addition to that it should help me improve past what I am at currently. And so anyway, that's the goal. We're going to hop straight into it. This first one, I think I'm going to focus on setups and general positioning. Anyway, let's hop straight into it. Alright, so for this first clip here, I got a game against Resto Shaman Assassination Rogue. And as you'll see right in the beginning here, I'm just kind of hanging back. I'm letting my Ret fight and get in combat here on the Resto Shaman, because that's a favorable matchup, right? Ret really doesn't care about Resto Shaman's damage. You'll see he gets rooted here, he just sits it, there's no reason to blow anything. Okay, I want to stay back and keep a defensive position, and the reason why that is I have no reason to be up there. If I get found by the enemy rogue, that could turn the matchup on its head because we're playing double DPS, and we don't have as many tools for longevity as having a healer on your team. So basically, if I stay back, as you'll see, I end up actually finding this rogue, which is super good for us. You'll see that basically now, as I roll the clip again, Resto Shaman is going to start coming back in towards this rogue, and I resap the rogue just so my Ret can get on him. You'll see the Shaman puts Earth Shield on him. It's good for him because he knows we're going on him. I drop a Mark for Death Kitty and I start doing damage. You'll notice right here, I don't pop Vendetta. I go for the Toxic Blade, but I notice at the moment of dropping Toxic Blade that Earthen Wall Totem was dedicated by the Shaman. So you'll notice that my Ret Paladin doesn't pop wings or any offensive cooldowns, and I also decide not to because we pretty much get that cooldown for free. I go for a step kick here, mostly just because by the time I come back in, my kick is going to be back again, and I'm stepping the Shaman to take advantage of his positioning so that I can reset, which basically, the reason why this is important is I'm moving away from the rogue, which ruins his opportunity when he gets out of stun to stun me and create pressure. And it closes the gap between when I can go in and stun him again and we can get another setup. So I run pretty far away. His only option is to go on my Ret, but my Ret just kites him out and just plays defensive. He's just trying to keep the rogue in combat right now. And at this moment, stun DRs are falling really soon. And you'll see the Shaman's pop Descendants, which is actually a huge mistake on this part because we haven't even dedicated any offensive cooldowns. It's just the basic damage from my Ret and basic damage from me, so I was a little bit of a panic on his part. You'll see I go for, this is a little bit of a greedy play, I go for a Garrote to get 5 combo points, and then I use the immediate global afterwards to blind the Shaman, and I kidney the rogue. And at this moment I'm pretty much ready to go for some real offense, but the Shaman immediately trinkets blind before I can even get a chance to pop anything. So I decide, hey, I'm going to pop Sprint and Cloak, get Crippling off me, and I'm going to start kiting away from the rogue again. At this point, this game's been going on for 2 goes now. I still have my Trinket, I still have Evasion, I still have Vanish, and I haven't even been caught yet, right? If I got caught, I could still Trinket and get out, guaranteed. No question about it. My Ret hasn't had to use anything on me defensively. So I kite away here. At this moment, I'm just trying to stay away from the rogue so the rogue can't go me again, even though he's totally disinterested. By moving away from him, I take away his option to go me. That allows me to get re-stealth. You get that Subterfuge and Shrouded Suffocation Garrote, the more powerful Garrote from stealth. And I move back in here. You'll see I drop combat there, the little blue text on my screen. And I go for re-stealth here. I decide to get a re-Garrote on the rogue. And right here, the Shaman goes for a pre-link. You'll see I just hang out and vanish here for a second, and I whack the link with an auto attack. I get back on the Shaman, and what I'm going to do right here is I'm just trying to CC Shaman. I was expecting a cast there, but I didn't get it. At this point, I'm just free to Vendetta the rogue. Kidney DR's off again. I kidney him in bomb, and my Paladin's in bubble with wings up. There's nothing they can do to stop us, and that's the game. Anyway, let's hop into another clip. Alright, this second clip here is against Holy Paladin, Assassination Rogue, and I mean it's a mirror of sorts, except for we're Ret Paladin, double DPS. And the difference in this matchup is obviously that I have a damage their healer, and they have 2 bops and 2 sacks usually that we have to get through. So you're going to have to reset a lot usually to win this kind of matchup. You'll see that I just sit out again, take a defensive position, so it reduces the risk I'm going to get found. The rogue decides to open up on my paladin. He goes for a garrote instead of a cheap shot. I get the stun onto him, and I start putting up my dots, and the paladin's close enough, so I decide to go for a blind right away. The paladin's using relentless in this matchup too on the enemy team, so he has no trinket for blind, and the rogue's free here to take some damage from me. My paladin comes back in. He's trying to keep a defensive position, just so that if the rogue wants to go on him, then he's going to go LOS to the paladin. Also so that he can get off repentance off of blind. And you'll see that even without cooldowns here, we get the rogue down to about 35%, 40% HP. The paladin decides to go for a sacrifice on him and then bubbles himself, so he doesn't take any damage. Kind of an unnecessary play. So at this point, we've gotten bubble out of the paladin, which means he has less ways to break our crowd control, and the rogue is now in the position. He used evasion as well, so he's not going to be able to dodge a lot of my kidney shots in the upcoming moments of the game. So I decide to kite away, and I go for a vanish here. The purpose of this vanish obviously isn't to get clean out, as I do have bleeds on me. It's just to help stall for that stun DR to go for our next go. Pretty much what we're thinking about on the next attempt here is that we want to get Rogue's Trinket out of the way. If we can get through Rogue's Trinket at this point, and then we can hit a rep and hit the Rogue with a kidney shot following that, the Rogue's just going to fall over. So my Paladin's currently in a rep. I get found out there by a consecration, or not the consecration, but the bleeds that were on me. And I go for a garrote on the rogue, and he actually stuns me first. Kind of a misplay on my part. I should have just marked kidneyed right there and beat him onto the stun. But as you'll see, he dedicates blind to my rep Paladin as well. And it's pretty much up to either me to use evasion out of this, or for my Paladin to use his bubble like he does right here, and then he puts bop on me to save me. So at this point, I only have evasion left for defensives. We get the kidney out here, and I go for the vendetta and the smoke bomb. I decide to use everything, and we get this guy's trinket. And because he's a rogue, he's honestly not very tanky, as most of you probably know who play rogue. So pretty much at this point, if we're able to get one more setup, we can pretty much close out this game. I'm just still kiting away right now. My positioning, I'm just trying to drag the rogue away from the holy paladin. He goes for a bomb on me here. I'm still just kiting. My paladin does a pretty good job of peeling him off and keeping me away from the target. My paladin's trying to kite towards me now to keep my health going as we kite away from the rogue here. If I get kidney shotted by the rogue at this point, I absolutely lose, but I managed to kite away long enough to get a re-stealth. And right here, I go for a cheap shot onto the Holy Paladin and then a full kidney onto the Rogue. I should have delayed this play just a little bit because my Rep Paladin had enough HP to survive. He wasn't in any trouble there. And it would have allowed my Paladin to actually rep off of this. And the enemy Paladin decides to go for a Repentance onto my Rep Paladin. I quickly step kick that to interrupt that. And honestly, my hope at this point is that my Paladin would get a rep off. He tries to rep, but he gets kicked by the enemy rogue there. And at this point, I take a position again where I can avoid being kidney shot myself and just try and get a re-stealth. Install for one more stun DR, as the rogue, if we go quick enough, will not have trinket back. And the paladin, still having used divine shield, can't get out of repentance. Some shenanigans happen here between me and the rogue. I'm just trying to stay away from the rogue so I can't get kidney shotted. Still waiting 4 seconds on DR. You'll see we kind of toss some poison knives at each other. I don't want him to re-stealth because I have enough points already to kidney shot, and they're just trying to keep me in combat. I'm trying to keep him in combat. He comes up here, and I immediately go for a kidney. There's 2 seconds left on our repentance, and we try to get out some damage here. It's kind of a mistimed setup in a way, but my paladin knows that he has Hodge afterwards, and he lands the Hodge off. We have more than enough damage at this point to finish this rogue, and he goes down. Anyway, if you guys can take away anything from this, it's that you got to coordinate with your team to accomplish things. You can't just do everything yourself. You want to make sure you're getting CC on both people in a 2v2 matchup when you're going for kills. Cross CC is very important. That's what it's called. It might be a newer term to a lot of you newer players. You want to get out that CC on the healer and the rogue simultaneously for some cooldowns. Then you want to be able to pull back and go again. Basically, there's a lot of times where people just stay out in the open and let's keep training people and they'll die. They have to run through all their defensive cooldowns really fast. And the simple logic behind it all is that as soon as you go and you do some pressure to the enemy team, The whole time you spent doing pressure to them, they haven't done anything. So the moment they're able to do stuff again, they're going to try and hit you back. So if you delay the timings that they can do that and force them to have to like delay their plays, it's going to put you ahead and it's going to get you closer to your next play. And it's going to make you have to use less cooldowns overall. And that's the power of setups instead of just like running at people. It's very, very important as a rogue player. Also, when you're kiting away, use your surroundings. Don't be afraid to use that shadow step. Sometimes the safest option could potentially be the enemy healer, depending on where everybody is. Use the pillars. Try and predict where people are gonna have to run to get to you. Try not to just like immediately kidney all the time and expect your teammates to be able to get something quick. Try and warn them in advance if you're using voice or anything like that. It's a great habit to get into. To be like, yo, I have kidney in a couple seconds. I'm gonna drop kidney in like 3 seconds. Some people even like to time it out. I don't really do that myself, but it's definitely a good thing to do. You can get some pretty nasty timings on setups for sure. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This is going to be the first episode complete. I hope you guys take something away from it. Please like, comment, subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys all next time.